Hello everyone, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be going over some of the best weapon combinations in Apex Legends Season 6. So before we get into the video, I do want to say that about 90% of you guys are not already subbed, so if you can drop that sub, it would help me out a ton, and I would really appreciate it. So this gameplay that I currently have on the screen right now, in the beginning it was a little bit rough because I hadn't played in 5 days, but this is a gameplay of me using one of my favorite weapon combinations in the entire game, and I dropped 22 kills, so I'm going to play it out towards the end, and you guys can see the gameplay since it is pretty cool. But the first weapon combination, like I said, is Volt Mastiff. So this is an awesome combination. It's for more aggressive players, and it's what I've used a lot in ranked. I basically only use 2 weapon combinations, and I'll get to the other one later. But the Volt is a lot of consistent damage up close and medium range, and then the Mastiff obviously can hit for like 100 a shot if you can get consistent with it. So sometimes the Mastiff doesn't hit, and that's completely fine, and this class will not be for everybody, but obviously it is very powerful, and I've loved using it ever since Season 6 started. So Volt Mastiff, definitely an amazing combination, and probably my favorite by far. So the next combination, we have Volt Hemlock. So this is probably the best combination in the entire game in terms of consistency and damage and output at all circumstances and all positions. So what I mean by this is basically the Volt is good short to medium range, and then the Hemlock is very good from medium to long range. So using both of these weapons, you get you cover all ranges with both of your weapons, and they're incredibly effective at each range. So obviously on my Volt I'll run like a 1x, and then on my Hemlock I love the 3x, the Ranger on my Hemlock, and for very long range I like to use the single fire, but for medium and then kind of long range I like to use the Burst, because the Burst just got buffed and it does an incredible amount of damage if you can get your shot on point with it. So this is definitely, in my opinion, the best combination in the entire game. It's substitutable. Obviously, I didn't say this before, but I'm going to mention it now. I'm going to be talking about substitutes for these as well, just in case you're not really feeling one of these weapons. So for in this instance, if you're not a big fan of the Volt, you can substitute it out for like an R301 or something like that. Something that's pretty good at close range and medium range as well. I would suggest against using Prowler Hemlock, just because even though they're both very good weapons, you'll have to be carrying around like 400 heavy ammo, because for me personally, every time I pick up a Hemlock, I have no problem running through 240 rounds like it's nothing. It's an ammo hog for sure, and I always find myself running out of ammo with it, even when I have a lot of stacks of it. So the next weapon combination I want to talk about is the Prowler and the G7 Scout. So this was obviously one of the primary weapon combinations in Season 5. It was very good, and it actually got buffed. So the Prowler got nerfed in the full auto, but the Burst, which was always better, got buffed. So Prowler Burst, you keep it on Burst, and then you use G7 with like a 3x, and for this you cover the close range, you get medium range out of the G7, and then long range out of the G7 as well. Very devastating combination, and definitely a top weapon combination for Season 6. So the next combination up, we have the R301 and the Prowler. So this is a very good combination as well. The only thing you lack is long range. And you can substitute the Prowler out for the Volt, depending on which one you like more. Like I said, you're going to be able to substitute Volt and Prowler out for a lot of these combinations. But in this combination, we're talking about the Prowler and the R301. As you guys know, the R301 is incredibly accurate and reliable at short to medium range. You can put a Bruiser on it, especially if you're pairing it with the Prowler, which will be your primary close range weapon. So the R301 is going to shine when you have the Bruiser on it, and you will get very good close to medium range out of this combination. You just kind of lack long range because the R301 isn't as good as a G7 Scout or a Hemlock. So the next combination up we have is the Volt and the Triple Take. So the Triple Take is obviously a very slept on weapon this season. I'm sure you guys have been seeing a lot of people using it. It's actually very good. It got a buff, and now it has a built-in precision choke, so it hits for like 70 to a body shot no matter what. The thing absolutely smokes people. I mean, if you get headshotted with it, it's like 120, and it just does so much damage. So if you guys are not already using the Triple Take or even the longbow, you guys should definitely use it. And like I said before, you can substitute out the Volt for the Prowler, whichever one is your preference. So next up we have the Havoc, and this Havoc class, you could either run the short range with like a Havoc and a Prowler, or you can run long range like Havoc Hemlock. And the Hemlock Havoc is a very good combination because, like I said before, the Havoc is very good at close range, and you want that combination where you get close, medium, and long range. And you really get that with this combination since you get the close range with the Havoc. It does a lot of damage. It has a very high ammo capacity, and with the turbocharger, it has a fast fire rate, no delay. And as I said before, the Hemlock is very good at medium to long range, so you get a lot of utility out of this combination. So you could obviously swap out the Hemlock for something like Triple Take or G7, whichever your preference is. You just don't want to double up on the same ammo type. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Like I said before, it's a 22 kill game, so I'm just going to keep it rolling so you guys can watch it. And I'm using the Volt Mastiff, I think the entire game, but that's pretty much it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay and the tips. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. I'm burning them.
Reloading. Getting shot at. Whole squad down. Now we can loot them.
Good job.
Recharging shields.
Opening fire.
Reloading. We killed the last member. Good work, team.
Powerful slaughter of the enemy.
I am repairing myself. Recharging shields. Frag out. Taking fire, friends. Enemy down.
This way.
More friends are coming to kill us. There's another squad.
Marking our surroundings.
Heads up. We've got a good fight here.
In combat. Scanning the area.
Getting shot at.
Taking out more Recharging shields.
Don't die.
All Father, give me sight. I'm taking. I am down, but alive. Making contact with enemy.
Charging my shield.
Hostile right here.
The enemies are shooting at me. Using grapple. More enemies
Contact on
down.
target.
Hostile close.
Recharging shield. Taking fire, friends.
Contact.
Repairing. I'm taking fire, friends. Reloading. Wow, giving my shields a recharge. 1 minute. The ring isn't far. Don't worry, I'm here.
Beginning ring countdown.
Hostile spotted.
Enemy spotted.
Replicator being delivered.
Grenade, watch out.
Target over there.
Replicator.
I am taking fire, friends.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Scanning the area.
Need to recharge my shield.
Roof under.
Enemy down.
Fire.
Save the last guy for me. Save him for me.
Hostile close. Recharging my shield.
Reload. What? I'm repairing myself.
Yeah, we're getting gibby-olded.
Marking our surroundings.
Guard me, I'm hitting a Phoenix. He's miraging in the...
We just eliminated. Giving my shields a recharge.
Warning. Ring movement in progress.
The ring is moving for live fighters. No one is inside.
Package.
Care package
They're right here.
inside.
Hostile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Grappling. Opening fire on the enemy.
That's full unit. Got one. Go crazy.
Recharging shields.
I was getting res. Wait.
Reload.
We have a winner.
Wasn't a bad game.
You are the Apex champions.
First game in 5 days.